What is this feeling?
Bam. What is it? What is it?
Hold on.
Welcome, everybody.
I'm gonna be popular. Oh,
Welcome back to Snack
All
Goes to the Theater.
right, here we are. It's about the
We are
witches tonight.
talking
Tonight is the
Wicked.
premiere of Roald Dahl's The Witches on HBO Max. Oh, we're not those witches.
No,
Right?
no, no, no.
Oh,
Wrong
wrong
witches.
one, wrong one. I still want to watch it. I heard it's trash, but I want to watch it.
I'm sure it is. We'll get there because we are going to review that. Anyway,
Yeah, for sure.
let's talk about these witches.
Mhm.
These dirty bitches. Elphaba and Linda. It's
Linda.
Linda with a G.
The G is silent.
So we are wicked. We're talking this. Welcome to Late Night Snacks on Broadway, or Late Night Snacks Goes to the Theater, or whatever we called it. I don't know. My
We're
life is
calling
chaos.
it late night. We're calling
Wait.
it
You can't keep changing it. You're the one that
No,
changed
no,
it.
no,
in the
no.
first place.
This is what we're calling it. We're calling it Snacks Goes to the Theater. That's what we're calling
This
it.
is a evening performance.
Yes.
So Snacks Goes to the Theater, evening performance. Wicked. That is the title of the show. If you don't like it, make up your own head. That's what we're calling it. Snacks Goes to the Theater, Wicked, and evening performance. Welcome. Welcome to the show. Please, no video recording, unless you're me and you record everything. No, just kidding. No, let's talk Wicked. Wicked is fan favorite. One of the big ones, one of the ones that will survive this COVID mess. You'll see Wicked right back in the Gershwin when everything's ready to grow. You'll see Wicked right back out on tour. Wicked's going to be one of those ones that stands the test of time for a long time coming. It's a new staple of Broadway of this generation because the story that they wrote and presented on the stage is timeless.
Yeah.
The inspiration material where it came from is a little bit more complicated. A little bit. We'll talk about that. We're going to cover the books, briefly about the books. We're going to talk about some of the history of the musical, some of the standout from the musical, where the musical is headed, the theatrical film that has been rumored for years, and just our thoughts on Wicked.
Mm-hmm.
I am that guy, and I have seen Wicked several times. So we'll talk about some of those experiences, and we got with us down at the bottom in the black and green and white there, and showing off the Wicked grid underneath the cloak. The women behind the curtain is
I
am here.
to my whatever side the screen's going to point on. Elbow side here.
My left, your right, my left.
Yeah, there you go. There is Miss Dwanda. So welcome all. Welcome to the show. Curtains up.
All right, so here we go.
It's Galinda. Okay. All right. So Wicked. Where we starting?
Where do you want to start?
Books. This is where it all came from. Well, it really starts with L. Frank Baum. L. Frank Baum wrote the Wizard of Oz series, as everybody knows. This series of books on Oz, which was controversial for its day. People don't know a lot about that with the series of Oz books that L. Frank wrote. They were, for its time, they were pretty racy, and they were pretty. There was some intermingling of scandalous kind of stuff that was in there interwoven. I've not read all of them. I used to have the whole series. There's many of the Oz books in the series, and from what I hear, he wanted to write something much more adult in his series, and was picked up by a children's publisher and was kind of led into the direction that he was led into with the books.
Right.
And then, of course, in 1930s, when The Wizard of Oz, the film came out and was the sensation that it was, Wizard of Oz would forever be known as that classic children's tale. When that really truly wasn't the inspiration in his mind. Cut to years later, with the reputation of Oz being still what it was, even though we had that brief moment of Return to Oz in the 1980s, and that is a true horror film. That film is just absolute freaking nonsense. Scared me to death.
Don't even bother with that one.
It is available on Disney Plus right now. You can watch it if you've not seen it. It's chaos. It's a total horror film. Anyway, and that's for different reasons. But the tradition of Oz continued, it being the classic timeless children's tale, and then along comes Maguire, Gregory Maguire, an author who writes a book called Wicked, the the Tales of I forget the full title of it. Wicked: The Tales of the Witches of Oz, or some I'll
Yeah.
get the book. So I found the book, so I'll go grab it in a second. But Dawn, why don't you tell a little bit of history on the publication of the book, this series and everything.
Okay.
And let me go grab it real quick.
Hold up. Did I pull it out? I don't know if I pull. I don't know if I pulled that part up. I was looking it up last night. All right. So, as Michael is going to go get the books, there are 4 different books in this series. I have not read them. However,
I have read one.
Michael has read one.
Wicked. I've read Wicked. And I've read Wicked, actually, surprisingly, years before I saw the show. So my first introduction to this story was the book. And here's the book. It is titled The Life and Times of the Wicked Witch of the West. So
there you go.
Wicked.
Nice.
Here, it is beautiful covers. So the book
is that the illustrated?
They tell the same story. It is actually formatted very, very similar to L. Frank's Oz books. So he took his inspiration and the way he formatted his books that way. But the thing about the Wicked series is he got to do the adult novels that L. Frank Baum wanted to do.
Right.
These are extremely racy.
I'm actually looking forward to getting them and reading them myself.
These would be a hard R and NC-17 film. If this was ever put to film, there is a lot of real intense sexual scenes in the thing. There's violence in it. There's rape. There's drug abuse. There's all sorts of real criminal political stuff in it. So it is the adult Oz to the adult extreme. Mm-hmm. And when they said that they were going to do a musical based off of this story, I was shocked. I was like, how in the world are they going to get away with putting this incredibly, and it's not like it's not been done for like shock value. Everything that's in this book is in here for a reason, and it's an allegory on a lot of stuff that's going on in modern times, with racism and with women abuse and drug abuse and political scandals. It's all in here as an allegory to what's going on in Oz, and it's a powerful book. It reads really well, but I was shocked. I really was shocked how they were going to do this is music, because they said they were going to do Wicked: The Life of the Wicked Witch, and I was like, there's no way it's based on that book. There's no way. And then when the Wicked Witch of the West, her name's Elphaba. That is her name in this. And I was like, are you kidding me? And sure enough, there it went. Years later, I finally got to see the show, and because I kind of stayed away from the show and any type of recordings or anything until I actually got to see it and see it all come together. What they stripped down to the root of the story of the friendship of Elphaba and Glinda in this book transferred to the stage beautifully. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And that is in this book. That friendship, that core friendship is here. They just managed to very, very lightly tap on these things that McGuire really goes into detail on the sex, on the scandal of the love relationship between Fiyero and Elphaba and Glinda, on the drug abuse. That was the night that they go into the Oz's ballroom, on the political scandal that was happening in Munchkinland and happening in Oz. If you listen to the musical and really watch the scenes, it's there. It's there in just little tiny little sprinkles. So they captured the book without being, in your face adult with it as a book is. If you want that, it's here in this book. And that's just the first of 4.
Yeah, there's 4.
And the 4 books that he wrote was Wicked, Son of the Witch, or Son of Wicked.
Son of the Witch. It's Wicked, Son of the Witch. The other one is
The Lion.
Something about the lion, and I can't remember what the 4th one is.
Steven's mentioned here. This may be a first printing. Yeah, I think it's first printing. Anyway, we'll look it up. It's Myrno Lost. Yeah, this is the first printing, so I don't have it there. Anyway, the 3rd one is about the Cowardly Lion, and the 4th one is called Out of Oz.
Okay.
Which takes the character obviously out of Oz. I haven't read it. Now I'm actually interested in reading them now. I'm starting to think I should go back and read them. But So if it follows anything like Wicked does, it's going to take those core classic characters of Oz that everybody in this nation knows. We know these characters so well. There's a few movies that are out there that kids that were born from, or people that were born from like the 1950s through modern times would know, and that would
Right.
be characters from Wicked or Wizard of Oz, characters from Gone with the Wind, and characters from Star Wars. It's just because when we grew up, that was ingrained in our psyche because those are the films that came on every holiday season.
Those are the
Every
classics.
family sat on the TV
They're
and
all
watched them.
classics.
Huh?
Those are all classics.
Yeah, it's just part of our culture, you know, in this time. And so the characters that are present in these books, we all know they're twisted on their heads. Their reveals of what happened to them and how their story, you know, transfers plays out beautifully. It could absolutely be the way it is and the way they said it, you know, portrays. Because when it goes into Wicked crosses into the actual story of the Wizard of Oz at one point in the musical, right at the end. It crosses
right
over
towards the end.
Right.
behind the scenes that if you're watching the movie or you're reading the book of the Wizard of Oz, could be happening right at the same time.
Right.
Put them all together, so it's really neat how that happened. You know how the Tin Man became the Tin Man, how the Cowardly Lion became the Cowardly Lion,
The Scarecrow.
You know,
And
all
how
of that
the
is
Scarecrow became
revealed
the
in the first book. The second book goes into more of that core character's story, I believe, and then the third one transfers over to the Lion. So that's his books. They're great. They are bestsellers. They're you know New York Times bestsellers. They're award winning. And for as adult as they are, they didn't receive a lot of negative press or you know scandal when they came out. It was
Right.
they were really successful. And I think I'm gonna read the rest of them. I think. Anyway, that's the book. So, cut to years later. Here we are. Right, one of the biggest projects in fiction. And what better man than to take on the reins of this theatrical just domination what Wicked is Stephen Schwartz. Stephen Schwartz is a composer and lyricist who did a lot of the Disney stuff. I believe he did. Little Mermaid, I think. Or was it that was Ashman? Or I don't know. He did Disney stuff. I'm not a Disney, you know, off the top of my head. I have to look at a list of what they did. But the man knows family theater. He knows family tunes and entertainment. And what is real powerful about this musical, if you don't know anything about what this story is, or you even are very unversed on Wizard of Oz, you just kind of know the basics. The songs in this show have that catch to it, and that's what makes it so popular. Is there's that catchy tune that you come out of here just humming and singing the songs, even if it's the first time you've ever seen it. Because when you write music, I guess I don't write music, but when you write music, I guess, if you can write a catchy, you know, lyric or
jingle like
that's what draws everyone in.
That's what jingles are, because it has to be quick and it has to draw the attention of the crowd.
Yeah, and this has got multiples of that.
And I'm back, by the way.
Bye. We're back.
We are.
And
we're glad you're here.
The thing of this show that is stands the test of time is they decided to focus on purely the friendship of Elphaba.
Here she is. She's here.
And the way that story is told, with the friendship of these two women, from their school year days into what we know as a Wizard of Oz and where it ends, it's full circle. It's complete. You get both of these women's stories. You get both these women's emotions. You are mad at both of them. You love both of them at the same time. It's a full package. And that's why this musical is so successful, because they got friendship right. They got the story of two women who, with circumstances all around them, led them to the place where they were at. And their friendship always remained. At the very end, when things were as worse as they could be forever, even though Glinda has to present herself in a very different way at the end than who she really is, the love is still there. You felt the love all the way to the last song of the musical, and it's powerful. It gives me chills thinking about it. And
because of that friendship, it is so hard to pick a favorite between the two of them, because you love them both.
You're rooting for them both. You hate them both. You love them both. That's what that perfection of this musical is how well it was written.
I would like to say it wasn't that hard for me. I had a favorite.
Well, yours is a first reaction because you just watched it, correct?
Exactly. Yes. I literally finished it minutes before we started this stream.
And this is your first exposure to it.
The first time I've ever seen Wicked. I've heard of Wicked. I've even heard pieces, like a little bit about the story, but I didn't even know the actual like story of it. So it was all, you could basically consider it all like brand new, like this, as if it were to have just come out yesterday, and it's still hot and nobody knows. Nobody spoiled the end of The Sixth Sense for you, type of thing.
Yeah.
That's how I felt with
It has that twist.
And just so you know, Michael, I sent her the version with Hannah in it.
Oh, you said you were
And
Hannah's version?
who is
Talk about
Hannah?
that.
Is that Glinda, or is that the other one?
What?
Glinda's the good witch. Alphaba's the.
But you said the one with Hannah.
Hannah was the one who played Elphaba.
Okay, Elphaba. Okay. It almost
So
feels
interesting.
like
Our first reaction saw the first African American Glinda.
Huh?
The show that you watched tonight was historic because that was the first time an African American woman played Glinda in any production around the world. First time.
And she did
She did
amazing.
an amazing job. I'd have to say, I thought her performance was believable. It wasn't like overly dramatic and overly done like some performances in theater can be, because it is theater. You expect a little bit more flair in the dramatic.
That role can be over the top, really over the top. And some people have played it over the top.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but I didn't care too much for her. The actress I loved. The character I did like her, but I mean, I liked Elphaba like a lot, and it made me respect her because I like villain. This is the thing, is I like villain origin stories, because when we have a villain, we tend to only know them as one thing and one way and one mask. Whereas when you get in, whereas with the good guys, we tend to know a little bit more about them because they're good. They want us to root for them and know them. We're not supposed to root for the bad guy.
No.
So to actually get an origin story is when you actually find yourself going, what made this person this way? And there has to be a reason. I mean, we just had this conversation not that long ago with Ratchet. So it was very similar to me in the experience of the villainism and seeing it differently.
Yeah. And why she became a villain, you would never suspected watching The Wizard of Oz.
No. And that's why I'm so glad nobody ruined this for me. Because
you're very welcome.
I knew the story consisted of the Wicked Witch's origin story and her sister and Glinda. That was all I knew. I didn't know or something or what. Like, I had no clue of anything else or what happens. I just knew there was those three people.
We deliberately didn't tell you anything about it because we wanted to.
No, and I'm glad you guys didn't. When you did start talking about it, I'm like, don't tell me. Because and I'm glad, because it made me enjoy the story so much more, not knowing what to expect. I knew that it was going to be like a twist on the evil, on the Wicked Witch, whereas she might seem good, or you might understand why she did what she did, which I very much did. Yep. Do you always agree with why people do the things they do? Anybody? No. But do you understand it after hearing the story? Yes.
And that's why No Good Deed, the song, as her transformation happens, is my favorite song of all time, one of my all-time favorite songs, because that song in itself explains why she did what she did.
And she sings that with Glinda.
No, that is For Good. For Good is my favorite. For Good is my favorite.
No. For Good is the end. No Good Deed is what she's trying to do herself, and all the smoke is rising from the stage. She's talking about how No Good Deed is unfinished.
Yeah, I have to picture it because, like I said, I literally just finished watching it. I haven't all ingrained yet.
That's the one that has the big note.
But you are so right. Every single song. And some of the songs I have heard before, but only like the chorus. But that's because a lot of my friends are Broadway type of theater people. And so they're like you guys, were constantly,
we're constantly doing it.
And so I've heard it before. I may not have paid attention to the lyrics or anything, and maybe I should have, because I would have understood them a little bit better now. But they're so catchy. Yeah. And you find yourself, even when you don't know the words, just humming along with it. And you're like, oh, yeah, you're right. I'm going to sing that song. Yeah.
Well, I find Defy Gravity, the end of Act One's big number, which is probably the most famous number out of Wicked. fascinating because Defy Gravity is not structured like a song. It's structured as like
No.
storytelling. It goes into
Yes.
different characters and goes into different talking moments and then big belting moments, and it's such an originally crafted song.
Now that's what I like. That in a musical, that's what I like. Whereas I don't like it all just song because I can't. The part of my problem is the way that musical songs are sung. It makes it harder, and they're in higher keys. So it also makes it harder to sometimes understand all of the lyrics and what they're saying when that's part of what you're supposed to be knowing because that's part of the story. So, and sometimes I feel like I miss things because I'm not quite understanding it. Like Sweeney Todd, it took me 3 times I've watched it, but it took me about a time and a half, and I really caught on. But especially with the accents and doing it, trying to understand is a lot different too. So.
Oh, I'm still discovering things for musicals through lyrics and stuff that I had not known before. And then when you watch it,
good. So I don't feel like it's just me.
And then when you watch it, it's an experience. And it's even different when you watch it from a video recording to actually seeing it on stage.
Oh,
you
yeah.
see things that you've not catch or that the camera didn't catch. Like the Defy Gravity moment. When she flies, when she takes flight, when you see it live, she's taking flight. And it gets a big applause moment. The camera doesn't quite catch it. Doesn't quite really reveal, what's happening at that moment. But but you're right with lyrics. Lyrics sometimes can be really tricky to catch right at that moment as you're trying to listen to it, especially if an actor or an actress is really in a high falsetto or there's an accent to it or something like that. That Broadway can be rediscovered over and over. As you're learning new things.
Well, and like you said,
I watch the pro shot of Hamilton all the time, and I catch things that somebody in the background.
Well, and with different casts, when you have a different cast doing the same performance, it might be sung slightly different or in a different key. Yeah. So it might be differently understood too.
See, I have a hard time when there's actually spoken words in the middle. I'm so used to it being like song after song after song that when there's
I liked it. It broke it up.
It kind of ruins it a little bit for me because
I'm similar in the same way. If it's done well and it
flows better for your hearing.
Yeah.
But I prefer my musicals completely sung as well.
Mm-hmm.
All the big ones in the 80s were completely sung. That was the trend. Wicked is not. There's a lot of spoken word in Wicked. But it just depends. Depends on the writers.
Which song is it that they sing right at the beginning, or not right at the beginning, but one of the first songs that Elphaba sings?
Oh, The Wizard and I? No.
No, sings, after that, I think.
What is this feeling?
What is this feeling?
Her very first song? Her very first song at school?
I think it might have been What Is This Feeling? I know it wasn't not The Wizard and I.
That's Linda and her. You've got I don't have the soundtrack here. I'm trying to think of off the top of my head.
No, well, it was just one of those right towards the beginning. It was like right after she heard she had a gift.
Yeah.
But not The Wizard and I.
Well,
that was right away.
Was that after she showed off her gift and she wasn't planning on doing it?
Yeah, right at the beginning with her sister, and her sister's like, "Oh, why do you always do this? We were supposed to be different."
That is right. That is right before the Wizard. That's right before The Wizard and I.
That's what I'm saying. She sings The Wizard and I, but so it's the one before she sings that one then that I'm thinking of.
Yeah, there's one for. I don't know why I'm driving.
I don't know. I'll look at it and I'll tell you guys. That's one of the first songs that you hear that's not just singy song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's very. I understood what she was saying, but it sounded more like a musical, but a pop song in a musical, but not like a pop song.
Right.
But it's catchy, like a pop song. That's what I'm saying. And as soon as I heard that song, and I was already tapping my foot and playing it over in my head, I was like, "Oh, I know I'm gonna like this soundtrack."
It's also like that with Popular too, because Popular is not like a musical.
Popular, I like that one too. That's the one that I knew before, because obviously that was the one for their promotions.
You've got The Wizard and I, and What Is This Feeling?
What Is This Feeling? Then it had to be that one. That one, I liked that one.
Yeah, that one it could play as a pop song.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And then Popular, I really liked that one.
See, my favorite song off the soundtrack is actually For Good.
That one?
I think it was that one.
Yeah. And then the Wizard Knight is also very popular, but they're very
They're
popular.
all
It's very
kind of
popular.
blending now, but they were that good though, where they were similar but not very. They were different, but they weren't too different.
Yeah.
So it all flowed together well. And then, like I said, with the spoken word, it just kind of broke it up for me, which gave my ear a break to then listen again to the singing part of it and be able to. It's me and my ADHD. I can't focus on anything.
And also, if you really strip the musical down, what Stephen Schwartz did that was so just outstanding was back to the whole friendship thing. Every song that Glinda or Elphaba sing shows the progression of where they are at emotionally in their friendship.
Yeah.
So even if they're singing anything else, it's all a progression about the friendship and where they're at and how they're associating and how they're feeling at that moment. So that's how
exactly. And the songs were like right there, like it told you exactly what it was trying to tell you. Whereas sometimes with musicals, it's more like it rhymes and it flows, so we're putting it together, but you have to fill in the pieces, or you have to figure out what you have to decipher what the message we're trying to give you sometimes.
Yeah, Hamilton's very much
like that. I didn't feel like that's what I got here, and it was a lot easier for me to focus on and pay attention to because of that.
And that's another reason why Schwartz is a genius to making a family-oriented type show, because this is good for all ages because they can follow it. Even through just the melodies and through the choruses of the song, you can follow the gist of the story of what's going on. So it's powerful. And if you get these actors, we'll talk about actresses here in a moment, because I mean, let's break it down. Those are the two people that you're really focusing on when you go see a cast of the show. Is how if their chemistry just works, it will knock your socks off. It will absolutely knock you out of the water, because that's really the essential core. If their chemistry doesn't work, the show doesn't work, no matter how good.
Right.
And I've seen some productions, unfortunately, where the chemistry just wasn't quite there between.
I was a little iffy at first about exactly that. And I know that's how the character is supposed to be and supposed to come off, but because I never seen it and I didn't know what to expect, and that's why I'd asked before if I was watching the original cast or not, because I wasn't sure just the way that she acted towards her. And I was like, it almost feels like she's trying too hard, but she was supposed to be trying too hard. And I didn't get that at first because I didn't know anything about it. But as it progresses, you see that, and you see that,
what I love
trying that on purpose when she first gets there.
What the
Glinda, I'm talking about.
Yeah. What the directors and the team, well, Glinda also is she's a very young actress. She's new behind this. A lot of this huge enormity of what she was taking on was a testament to her being brave as an actress to go out there and do that. She was the first African American to play this role. I mean, all eyes were on her to do this, and she didn't have a lot of roles.
She really did. She was amazing.
She made a lot of news that when she did that, and I felt really proud. It was a great moment. She didn't get to play it very long either. That's one of the most recent casts on Broadway that just did that. But anyways, with this cast, what I find fascinating that the creative team around this cast has allowed them to do, they have allowed them to interpret these characters, these women, on their own. So some people play them very close to each other, as they progress through the years of doing it, and some people have reinvented the roles, and the roles are played very, very differently, and yet it still comes off really, really
good. And that I like that so much, because like you were saying, it draws people in, but it keeps people coming back. Yeah. Because you want to see how this person's going to play that role and how this person is going to have the chemistry, like you said, with this person now. And it just,
you can pick out one moment with an Elphaba. Elphaba has one moment in the beginning of the show that you could see immediately how an actress is going to play Elphaba through the rest of the show, and it's different for everybody. It's like kind of like that at the end of Hamilton. It's when she first comes into the school and she's approaching the students and they're backing off, and she says, "Fine, let's do this. Yes, I'm green. What about that moment?"
Oh yeah, when she first gets to the school,
will tell you right there how they're going to play it. Does she play it sad? Does she play it embarrassed? Does she play it angry?
Yeah,
They all-
and it's different.
Yeah.
And
You
it's
know when you're
different
Alphabet,
with
you're
each
gonna get it.
cast.
Yeah,
And
it's
she
neat.
was very much like that, where she seemed like a badass in a way. Like she seemed a little meek and meager, but it was like once her power was like accepted, she was like, no, that's it, right there. Like,
I
nope,
have seen Alphabet do
That's
it
another
sad.
I'm not
reason
gonna let
why-
anybody tell me
Another
what to
reason
do or
why
push
I
me
like to
around.
watch different versions of it, because with each cast you get different
Different.
aspects of it,
That's
depending on
awesome.
how they decide to play it.
Yeah. What is also fun is this show has a couple fun songs that you can do comparisons to because the actors do it differently every single time, and that is first off Popular by Glinda. That the creators have given the role of Glinda, the actress, complete free will about how they interpret and want to do the craziness of that song. And some people go completely
That's
with
cool.
hilarious. Some people play it a little bit more subdued. Kristen Chenoweth invented the whole let's have fun with it and do improv every single night. Some actresses have to do Popular different themselves every single night, and they surprise themselves.
See,
with
and
what
I think that's what I would do if that was my role, because that would be fun.
Yeah, it's so fun to watch.
Creative and be
Fans
different
love
with
it.
it
Fans
every
love to
single
watch
night.
different interpretations. A
That would
great
be
video
cool.
out there is, if you've not seen it, please watch this. Is Kristen Chenoweth's final Popular. It's on your knees to die for funny. She takes the stage literally for like 10 minutes. And she
Really?
Yeah.
and she reads the
Milked
book
it. She's like,
to
it's
Adina.
my last
She
one.
reads a book to
What's
Adina.
that?
It's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. It's so funny. And then
Well,
they also
Kristen-
do another thing that's inside the actresses with Popular is they try and make each other laugh during it. They try and break character. So it's this tip that goes like.
Well, Kristen Chenoweth is a master. I mean, I just adore her.
With Elphaba, you got No Good Deed, which every actress tackles that song differently. And for me,
Oh, I love
that makes
one
it American
too.
Elphaba for me. If they don't act that song and understand that song, they don't get the character. But that's a really powerful song, and different actresses interpret that power differently. And, with that whole Fiero riff that's in there, it's fun to watch the comparison videos on YouTube. People have put them together and shown the differences.
Oh, you can just pull up comparisons.
There's comparisons for
Really
Defy
cool.
Gravity. There's comparisons for No Good Deed. There's comparisons for Popular. And you can see the differences between
All the different ones. Yeah.
Yeah, in fact,
That sounds like a
musical
fun
actually
rabbit
made-
hole for an evening.
This was one of the first musicals that made an international cast famous, and that is with the German actress who played Elphaba, Velmina something or other. Wicked fans will kill me, but her name is Velmina something, and you should see her. She played the role on Broadway several times. She got to do the international cast recording, the official recording that came out in German, and she became just as well famous as for Elphaba as Adina did, and she got to reprise the role on Broadway several times. So she's done it in English and in German, and she's a completely different Elphaba, but
See,
really,
that's
really
what I thought.
popular as well. We're really famous.
Is
And
Adina part of the original cast?
Yes, Adina.
Okay,
Adina
that's what I
and
thought. That was like her big break, really, right?
Brent was Adina's
Brent
big break.
was her big break.
But yeah, Adina was Elphaba, and Kristen Chenoweth was Glinda. Kristen Chenoweth invented the role of Glinda, the way it's played historically throughout. Everybody's got that little Kristen Chenoweth, a little twitch to it, which is cute.
She's hilarious, though.
Oh, Kristen was brilliant. Adina's, I am not. God strike me down. I'm not a fan of Adina's Elphaba, to tell you the truth. I'm really not.
The one that I watched,
is great. Her performance is great. It's just not her. She plays Elphaba very subdued. She plays a very quiet Elphaba, a very just going through the motions, almost like she's phoning it into me a bit. But my favorite Elphaba is actually Hannah, who just
I don't want to feel sorry for her. I want to feel for her, but I don't want to feel pity for her. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Donna
with this
DeVito
character,
is another
I
really
didn't.
good Elphaba.
I'm sorry, this actress, I didn't feel that at all for Elphaba.
I love Hannah. I think Hannah
Hannah's great.
Elphaba, one
Her
of the best
voice is
ever acted.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to send you that one, because her
Yeah.
voice
The best
is
Glinda
incredible.
for me is not Kristen Chenoweth, even though I love Kristen. Is actress
won't
called
tell her.
Ali Moisey. Is her Glinda is hilarious. I mean, it got me when I was re-diagnosed back in 2 years ago, November, and I was going through that whole I hate the world phase. I would watch Ali as Glinda every single night. because she lifted my spirits I wrote her on Facebook thanking her for getting me through that, because her Glinda is so infectious.
Aw.
It's so powerful. And that you have to, that's the best recording of Wicked that's actually out there is Donna Davino, who I saw live here in San Diego, and Ali Moise doing Alpha and Glinda. And it's a phenomenal recording. So yeah, everybody's different and their chemistries together are different. It's really neat.
Yeah.
I love the show. It will be timeless for a long time. It's going to
Yeah.
be another one of those Phantoms or Cats or
That
something
is,
that rolls out.
for me, that one, Wicked will always be in my top 5. Always.
Wicked, Hamilton, and Lion King are going to relight Broadway. Those two shows
think so?
on their own are going to relight Broadway when it comes back.
I can
Because
see it.
they got the power behind it.
Mhm.
So that leads us to where Wicked is now today. Well, Wicked is where everybody is today. It's shut. Broadway is closed.
Hashtag
Broadway, unfortunately, live theater is going to be one of the last things we see go back to any sense of normality because it's just the environment that it is. It's toxic. You got live performers
It just
interacting
makes
with a live audience in a closed environment with air conditioning and singing and spitting. If you've seen Hamilton and Jonathan Groff do performers spit, so it's
You already
so
know.
we
Don't sit in those first few rows.
Yeah,
it's
Jonathan Groff is a spitter.
it's just the environment. We have a virus out there that acts against live theater, and so they're struggling. If you want to contribute to a great charity, contribute to the Actors Foundation, which is not just for actors; it's for anybody that works in the live theater industry. And
after this video airs, we'll link that in the description below.
That is the organization that is helping these guys get through this time. Remember, all of these people are out of work. There is no live theater. There is no ushers. There's no lighting technicians. There's no ticket salespeople. All of those jobs, those hundreds of thousands of jobs are just non-existent right now. Not to mention the actors and the dancers and the swings and producers and scriptwriters and all that. But the
hundreds of people put on a show.
It raises money to help them with medical bills and with paying rent and all the basics that everybody takes for granted that these people that just don't have an industry right now are really, really struggling with. So we can link that below. There's different foundations out there. There's different shows on YouTube now that daily they go on the air every single day to raise money for the Actors Foundation. It's powerful. But anyway, that's COVID. There is a movie for the theatrical movie for Wicked that is going to hit at some point. It has been in the works for
so far
years.
it's been pushed. They've pushed it back to 2021. They may be pushing it back further.
Yeah, it got a release date of December of 2021. It finally got a formal release date. It was not cast or anything. There was no announcement of casting or anything.
We don't know yet.
There's nothing that was announced. And it got into pre-production because what happened that was very interesting is if you ever search Wicked on YouTube, there's hundreds of different recordings of Wicked on YouTube. I mean, every day a new one pops up.
Well, I was literally just getting research for this, and the director for the movie itself just dropped out.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it'll go to a rework again, and eventually we will see it. If the money's there, the want is there, we will see it. I am so against it. I have been against the
and like you said, the fandom is there, the want is there for it. I think they're just taking their time because they want it to be perfect. Because of the fandom,
timing, there's a lot that goes into.
Well, I mean, obviously, timing of each person, but that's what I'm saying. They're willing to.
I for one, if they never make a movie of a Broadway show, I'm absolutely fine. I hate theatrical movies of Broadway shows. I think it really ruins a Broadway show.
Not all. There have been a few exceptions.
Tape the show. Do a Hamilton. Do a postcard. That is the movie. That is the show. That to me, that's what it is. I mean, I think of Les Miserables and what they did and just crucified Les Miserables.
Yeah.
That's a whole other story. Anyway, if they ever touch Miss Saigon, I'm gonna be pissed. But no, the theatrical movie, it's owned by Universal. Steven Schwartz is under contract with Universal. Wicked is lock, stock, and barrel with Universal. And when it went into pre-production, we all kind of knew it because all of the Wicked recordings on YouTube were gone overnight. For about a year there, you couldn't find anything on YouTube. Now they're all back, and they're coming back in droves now on YouTube, where you can just find a new one every day. I find new recordings every day, and I get inspired to look at them. I like bootlegs on YouTube. So there's a lot of people in this world that can't go out there and see these things, and it gives them a chance to watch it. You're not going to take away money from the show that sells out every single night that everybody's going to go see anyway. Hamilton is not losing a dime.
That's how I see most of my musicals is on YouTube because I can't afford to go to the theater.
But there is a culture there, and there is a legal reason why these things shouldn't exist on YouTube. And I get it. I get the law. You know, these performers that are performing for you as you're watching on YouTube.
We do not promote pirating under any circumstances.
No, we do not promote pirating in any way.
We do not share anything. We do watch pirated stuff, but we are not sharing it through the channel or anything like that. And we're not giving links to where to go find it. You can go find it on your own if you want to go find it.
It is public. It's not anything that we're stealing or downloading. It's publicly there.
Yeah. So just know that I personally, in my own life, I personally would like to see it more supported as far as a legal stance, because I think there's a niche in the industry for it. If it handled better. But please don't go sit in the theater with your camcorder out and recording the show. It's an insult to the actors. It's you're taking food away from their families when you do something like that. So there's a lot of legal reasons why you shouldn't do it. But if it's there, I'm gonna watch it. That's all I'm saying. So the movie, it will be out. My prediction, and I hate this, and this is why I do not want to see this made. My prediction is that Ariana Grande is going to get Elphaba.
No.
She's already done Elphaba song professionally, and she's done. There's a special that came out 2 years ago over Halloween, which they had a big, huge celebration of the anniversary of Wicked. I think the 15th anniversary of Wicked or 20th anniversary of Wicked. I forget. And she did couple of Elphaba's big numbers. She's expressed how much she's wanted to do it. Ariana Grande at Universal and Warner Brothers, both studios, is the Grandes are like gods.
I am not a fan of her at all.
She's very talented. She really is. She is very talented. I don't like her personality. Yeah. She's not a good person.
And you look at that meek little thing, that little tiny structure that she has.
And I'm not going to say she's not a good person. Actually, I take that back because I don't know the woman from what I've seen of her. And yes, everyone deserves a second.
If you ever watched Big Brother and you were
not a big fan of hers.
If you watch Big Brother and you watch Frankie Grande on Big Brother, it's the year that he was on Big Brother, and you watch the live feeds and him just natural conversations and talking about that family. There was some stuff that he did and exposed that was just maybe turned me off the Grandes. Period. There's trash. But that's my personal opinion. Nothing against her talent. She's incredibly talented. I just feel
she is incredible. Right.
They have Schwartz and Universal have given her professional opportunities to do some of these songs, live. She's got their own recordings. She was in TV shows. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
How about this? You guys tell me real quick, because I know we're about to wrap up. So you guys tell me real quick, who would you guys like to play the two leads?
Hannah and Allie. In a heartbeat. I'd cast them right down today. Hannah and Allie. Hannah, who just did a squad, and Allie Moisey, who I told you on that one recording, that really good recording with Donna Vigneault. Allie Moisey is the best. If you can't do Allie, cast Kristen. Or even cast Kristen and Adina. Everybody wants Kristen and Adina cast.
And that's what I would think that they would do if they're going to do a movie. They would go with the original cast.
They're too old. They have aged out of the part.
Yeah. It has been out quite a while.
They've aged out of the part now. They can't really.
But it's makeup. It's makeup and everything else. They can
very well people.
They can make people look younger. You never know.
I wouldn't be surprised if they got the opportunity. I really wouldn't, because they're so attached to this project.
Right. That's what people know.
I don't know if Adina could do it anymore. I mean, her voice has changed completely. I don't know if she could do the songs. There's a video out there where Adina's performs her first Defy Gravity and her last Defy Gravity, and her voice is destroyed. So it would be very interesting to see if they would do it. I'm sure Kristen would do it in a heartbeat.
Kristen would probably do it in a heartbeat.
But they've aged out. So I would love to see Allie get it. But a Broadway actress is not going to get it. It's going to be a name like Ariana Grande.
Yeah, it's going to be something
part of Memorial is going to go to like a Queen Latifah.
There is no people who like the musical who are going to watch the movie. They want to see people who want to watch the musical.
Yeah, but Les Miserables proved that these people don't have to have the voice. You know, they cast Russell Crowe for Christ's sake.
That's true, because that was kind of a train wreck.
In reality, you know, if they're really going to do it and stay true to it, I want the two leads to be played by people that can actually sing. And sing.
Yeah, and I would hope that's what they would do because of the fact that, I mean, it's amusing.
I tell you what I would prefer if they're not casting anybody, cast unknowns. Go out on a search.
Yeah.
It always works out. Look what what's her face did for Phantom. When they
right, I was just gonna say you could have totally launched somebody's career.
And if they ever do a Miss Saigon movie, if they ever decide they're going to touch that sacred jewel of mine, they had better go find a new room.
That's going to get ugly.
Yeah.
Let's hope they don't do that because
we digress.
That music.
A movie in Miss Saigon? I was like, I've seen a movie in Miss Saigon. It exists. It's the Pro Shot.
Yep.
There it is. Go watch it. It's there. Anyway, that's so fun. So that's Wicked. What is
there?
Let me try to real quick.
Wicked is not the best merchandise, by the way. So I'm gonna do a little show. This is my track jacket from Wicked, my shirt from Wicked, my hat from Wicked. I've got socks from Wicked. I've got other shirts from Wicked. But the best thing that Wicked ever did, I love these. I finally got the other one. Oh, first, the Grimoire exists. If people always want to know about books, about souvenir books, this book, the Grimoire, is actually a book in the show. It's actually the spell book of everything that's going on, where Alphabet gets all her spells from. They recreated this beautiful book. It's got cushioned covers and everything, and it's like the Hamilton books, like the other ones. It's got the whole script in it with the making of, going along. One of the beautiful Broadway books. So this book is still readily available on Amazon and everywhere you buy it. Show it's right available. Beautiful book. But the best thing of merchandise, excuse me while I separate wands without breaking them. Speaking of wands, is I should have had them out. My beautiful lady here.
Oh, don't break anything.
I'm not. Trying not to break a wand. There's wands all over the place, y'all, because I'm packing up the wand.
No.
Okay, so we have Miss Alpha and Glinda. Barbie did an anniversary of them.
They're so beautiful.
And they are still available for sale. You can still get them on Amazon. You can find sales to get them really cheap. I got my Glinda really, really cheap. My Alpha was given to me as a gift. But Glinda and Alpha. Isn't that cute? The only Barbies I ever own. And I'm proud of them. To me, that's Hannah and
Ellie. Have a complete set.
Yep. Beautiful. Anyway, so I love Wicked merchandise. They have a lot of fun with it. They really go all out with their merchandise. You can buy the stuffed animal of the flying monkey, like right at the show, right at the door. They sell them in little walk around little almost like a concert. They have those little walk around little merch booths. They have a lot of fun with their merch store. They're always changing their merch, which is really cool that a lot of shows don't do. But Wicked, every year, Wicked is evolving and changing their merchandise. They do specialized city merchandise where you can get, Toronto merchandise, or you can get San Diego merchandise or something. So it's really, they have, whoever's in charge of that marketing is really smart, and they have a lot of fun with it. Every year there's a new jacket. It's cool. It's a lot of fun. A lot of green. Lots of green. And the one thing I don't know, if you guys ever want to get for me, the two Wicked wands. I don't own them. Surprisingly. There's an Alphabet wand and a Glinda wand that are no longer made, but they used to sell them at the shows. Pretty neat. Huh. That's Wicked merchandise. Yay.
Yay.
I had the souvenir booklets, but I don't know where they're at right now. Don't get me started. All right. Wrap it up.
So there we are.
And here we are.
That is Wicked.
That is the end.
Well, I'm going to watch it right after this. Now I'm in the mood. What is this feeling? Bye.
Thank you guys for joining us.
Curtain call. They've all bowed. They've all done the thing. Now go to the stage door, get your booklet signed, and get the fuck on home. Bye. Genie. Bye.
All right. Do we want to close anything out, or are we good?
Tomorrow we got a new game show for you guys. New games tomorrow. We got a brand new game. Would you rather?
Yep. That's going to be fun. All right. So we hope you guys have enjoyed our take on Wicked. And we will definitely see you guys in the next one. You guys have a great night. And we're out of here.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
You can say bye. So he's sleeping with his eyes open. Bye.